Welcome to Wow Fact Zone. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more discoveries.
Sonar scans reveal an unexplored section of the seafloor littered with metallic structures. Autonomous drones descend, scanning the area for signs of misplaced cargo. The first container lies on its side, covered in coral and decades of marine life. A trail of torn nets and broken crates suggests more cargo lies beyond. A skeleton rests in silence, offering no answers about the disaster that occurred here. Divers enter the zone, navigating through debris using guideline reels and flashlights. A second container rests between rock formations, remarkably intact despite the pressure. Shipping labels show automotive transport codes, confirming vehicle-related cargo. Broken crates reveal tires, rims, and suspension parts scattered across the seafloor. Nearby, rusted helmets and canisters point to historical cargo mixed with modern shipments. Divers attach lifting bags, preparing the container for slow and controlled ascent. Compressed air fills the bags, generating buoyancy strong enough to move heavy steel. The container finally breaks free from the seafloor, releasing clouds of sediment. Marine life parts as the container ascends toward daylight for the first time in years. It surfaces near the salvage vessel, where the crew prepares for inspection. The retrieved container is secured to the deck, allowing inspection to begin safely. Divers return below, continuing the search for additional misplaced cargo. Bent metal beams and damaged crane parts suggest violent impacts during the sinking. Vehicle profile crates lie partially buried, still sealed despite years underwater. Nearby, a skeleton rests with scattered tools, a reminder of the human cost of maritime disasters. Drones scan container walls, searching for markings that confirm cargo classifications. Faded transport codes indicate that the container once held performance vehicles. Additional lift bags are attached to stabilize the second container for ascent. Compressed air fills the lift bags, generating buoyancy to raise the heavy container. The container breaks loose, rising and releasing layers of sand and shells that covered it. Marine life scatters as the large structure moves toward the surface. On the surface, the extraction crew prepares tools and documentation equipment. Aerial views reveal the scale of the operation, stretching across the open ocean. The second container is lifted aboard, joining the first for further inspection. Experts examine corroded locking mechanisms to determine a safe opening procedure. Industrial tools remove rusted hinges that have sealed the container for years. Seawater pours out, carrying debris and revealing the container's submerged interior. A covered vehicle silhouette appears beneath damp protective sheets. Protective covers are removed, exposing the vehicle beneath after years underwater. Inside is a high-performance convertible, its frame dripping with seawater. Crew document the find, recording identification details for recovery records. Mechanics assess corrosion and pressure damage to determine restoration feasibility. Water pumps drain seawater collected at the base of the container. Divers locate a third container resting beside collapsed metal structures. Broken ship components scattered nearby reveal the violent nature of the sinking. Lifting bags are installed around the third container for controlled ascent. Vehicle crates are blanketed in marine grout, preserved in underwater silence. A skeleton wearing a decayed life vest adds another piece to the maritime puzzle. Divers perform final checks on ropes and valves to ensure a safe ascent. The container rises slowly, releasing sand and shell fragments as it ascends. Divers stabilize the container at the surface, guiding it toward the salvage vessel. A crane lifts the container aboard, joining previously recovered sections of lost cargo. Cutting tools remove corroded bolts, allowing access to the flooded interior. Seawater and debris spill out, confirming the container remained flooded for years. Inside, vehicle frames and components rest strapped to steel racks, preserved in seawater.
Crew document the components, adding them to the growing recovery catalog.
Below the surface, crates of metal parts lie surrounded by coral and marine life. A skeleton rests near bent beams and oxygen tanks, silent evidence of a past tragedy. One container lies crushed, its steel plates bent from a powerful impact during descent. Drones map debris clusters, marking areas of interest across the seafloor. Divers attach lift bags to a fourth container, hidden beside a coral ridge. Ascent continues through jellyfish and plankton, illuminated by diver lights. Recovered containers line the salvage ship, reflecting the scale of the recovery effort. Sealed document tubes from earlier eras are retrieved for preservation and study.
Experts review logs and weather reports, piecing together the disaster timeline.
The third container is opened, releasing moisture trapped since the sinking. Seawater spills across the deck, carrying soaked packaging that once protected valuable cargo. Inside, a convertible vehicle shows prototype-style components and sealed instrumentation. Inspection teams record wiring and instrument details for later research. Mechanics assess corrosion and pressure effects to determine restoration viability. Below, sealed engine crates rest against coral-covered steel beams. A skeleton lies between crates, preserved in sediment on the ocean floor. Divers attach lift bags to a fifth container, resting deeper than previous finds. Compressed air initiates ascent, sending the heavy container upward through swirling sediment. On board, parts are sorted into labeled crates for transport and examination. Engineers examine electronic modules, checking for seawater damage and viability. Empty steel racks and cargo straps drift silently, evidence of missing vehicles. Sealed document tubes are recovered, containing shipping records protected from seawater. Night operations continue under floodlights, accelerating the recovery timeline.
A fifth recovered container joins the others, forming a growing line of recovered assets.
Corroded locks are removed from the fifth container, releasing trapped moisture.
Seawater spills out, carrying packaging materials and broken components. Inside rests a performance vehicle chassis, secured by steel straps.
Teams document the structural layout for analysis and historical referencing.
Engineers inspect harnesses for corrosion and seawater penetration.
Below, debris fields continue, with wheels and components scattered in silence. A skeleton beside a crushed lifeboat adds perspective to the disaster's scale. Divers retrieve lift equipment, ensuring nothing is left behind on the seafloor. Final sonar sweeps conferred that remaining containers have been located and catalogued. Recovered containers are catalogued and tagged for transport and further evaluation.
Historic shipment records are revealed, documenting cargo routes and manifests. Mechanics prepare condition reports, detailing damage and restoration potential.
Marine artifacts are packaged for preservation to protect them from further decay.
The salvage vessel departs, carrying recovered cargo to the mainland for processing.
The seafloor returns to silence, leaving behind only the memory of what was found.